G'day Dean, how you doing?
Good.
All right, we'll get started. So tell me a bit about yourself.
So I'm a motivated exercise physiologist. My particular sort of areas of interest are around the musculoskeletal area, but I've had experience with a variety of pathologies. My clinical placement was at the QC clinic where we see a variety of different conditions, and I was at first it was a bit daunting because there are a lot of different ones, but I've sort of tried to really engage myself and really felt that I learnt a lot through that. I feel that some of my strengths lie around exercise cueing and delivery, as well as programming a bit. But I'm I'm eager to improve my ability in this area. Um, does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Great. What are two achievements that you are proud of?
Two achievements that I'm proud of. So I'd say that like I just said, one of my main strengths lie with cueing and delivery of exercise. And we had a subject that, similar to this, was towards the exercise testing area. So this was principles of exercise prescription. I managed to attain a high distinction in this, which I was very proud of. So we did a variety of physical tests, and sort of like skin folds, as well as sort of more the athletic tests like vertical leap and things like that. Yeah, so I was particularly proud of this achievement. Um, another achievement that I was particularly proud of was when I was on placement at the clinic. I was typically most of the time a bit apprehensive towards putting myself out there and doing anything. And the opportunity came up to take some of the group Pilates classes. So I really tried to step outside of my comfort zone and put my hand up for that and give that a go. I felt I learnt a lot from that. It was pretty scary at the beginning, but I feel that I'm better for it now.
Nice.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Great. Um, what are your weaknesses?
My weaknesses. So leading on from that Pilates story, probably confidence. Uh, Generally it can be a bit intimidating, stepping out of my comfort zone, but I'm actively trying to, like in this scenario, trying to just expand what I'm comfortable doing. Um, yeah, so with the Pilates class, we were given a bit of time to prepare for the class, but in general, it was just sort of running at how the clients were feeling at the time, having to modify if needed, given their various comorbidities. Um, yeah, so probably confidence is the
Okay.
main weakness. Yeah.
Yep.
Does that answer your question?
Absolutely. Um, what should we consider you for this role?
What should you consider me for this role? So I'd say that I'm very motivated, and the weaknesses that I do have, I am actively looking to improve on them. Like I said, I feel my strengths lie in sort of exercise testing and prescription, but I feel fairly comfortable communicating with clients and have a fairly good ability to build rapport with them. In particular, during a university intensive period, we were allocated a client for 5 weeks, and from the initial consult with my client, she's expressed to me that she had sort of negative experiences in the past with the other students. So I made a particular effort to show empathy around her condition, and really sort of get a feel for how she was feeling during that time. And by the end of it, she expressed to me that she was very happy with how things were handled, and she felt very comfortable and just seemed to have a better outlook on exercise.
Great.
Does that
Fantastic.
answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, okay, describe your biggest challenge you faced at uni and how you overcame it.
Yeah, so the biggest challenge that I faced at university, I think, would have been during a biomechanics group assignment. So we're in groups of four, and we set out the expectations for the work that we wanted to complete and due dates. And one of the group members just submitted work late and not to a standard that we were comfortable with. So when this happened, I communicated with the other two group members to cover the workload of the other student. Um, this wasn't ideal, but in the effort to achieve the highest mark that we could, we thought this was the best way to go about it. So we covered the work, presented, and still achieved a fairly good grade for it. So yeah, from this I sort of learnt that you can there are multiple ways to solve a problem, and through teamwork you can sort of split the workload and make it a bit easier for everyone. Does
Great.
that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Good job.
Thank you.
Tell me about your experience in exercise programming for clinical populations.
Yeah, so during my placement at the QC clinic, they receive a number of patients with varying conditions. So with that, we're programming exercise for various comorbidities and things like that. So I was definitely able to have some practice in prescribing for different conditions. And during my previous placement was with a more healthy population, but still, so I was with an athletic population, and a few of them were still suffering from musculoskeletal injuries. So we still had to work around those injuries. But in general, I feel fairly comfortable prescribing for clinical populations. Does that answer your question?
Yep, good. Is there anything you would like to add?
Yeah, I feel that given my skill set and experiences, I'd be a good fit for the role. Um, I feel that I can bring a lot to the table. And before we finish, I just had one question.
Yep.
What would you consider to be attributes for a worker in a good worker in this position?
Cool. Yep.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in, Dean.
Cool.